Good afternoon. I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times. On Friday, June the 17th, the Legislative Council of Arkansas met today, took up several items of interest. One item was something of a surprise. The council decided to delay for 30 days approving a new rule by the board that regulates psychiatric examiners in Arkansas. This rule would allow counselors to opt out on account of conscience from serving certain people. Among others, the ACLU objected, saying this could allow a counselor to not help a troubled teenager, for example, considering suicide if that teenager was gay. In fact, this rule was all about the kind of anti-gay measures that have become prevalent in the Arkansas and other southern legislators. Representative Andy Davis, a Republican from Little Rock, said this measure turned out to be somewhat controversial. He was surprised. That's because Republicans live in an echo chamber in which they don't understand that there are people in the world that feel differently than they do. It wasn't a good week to pass an anti-gay rule anyway, with 49 people dead in Orlando and a targeted attack on the gay community that the Republican politicians in Arkansas still won't recognize as a targeted attack on the gay community. But at least they'll put off this rule, anti-gay rule, until all the bodies are buried. Also at the Legislative Council today, they've approved a $1 million purchase of some buildings on West 3rd Street for unspecified future use. This is the place where insurance Alan Kerr wants to build a big new palace for the insurance department. He doesn't find a building up the street that he currently occupies suitable. He's the kind of guy that has a vanity plate on his Lexus, and so he needs better circumstances than most. The governor had held up on this during the special session, but he seems to be okay with it now. They'll put several agencies in here. It's going to take a couple of years to get this done. The buildings are currently leased. New construction, demolition of existing buildings, vacating other rented premises held by the state, while state employees don't get a pay raise, while we're robbing general revenues to pay for highways, while we're talking about tax breaks for rich people, and the state can afford a new building. If this is a new penny-wise Republican administration, I think I like to skin Flint Mike Beebe a little bit better. Got some more information today about the Razorback Stadium expansion, which the UA Board of Trustees approved yesterday. It's actually going to cost about $226 million. The $160 million figure used previously doesn't include the interest charges on the bonds that will need to be sold to pay for that project. Also learned that it's going to take $3 to $3.5 million if you want one of the new Founders Suites, the big super deluxe skyboxes. They're going to be included in the new stadium. Sale of those is supposed to raise about $40 million. They haven't yet said how many have been sold, but they said they're selling them for $3 to $3.5 million. That, by the way, doesn't include tickets too. Good news in Arkansas today, the unemployment rate in May fell to 3.8%, a new record low, down 0.1% from the month before. A group that supports preservation of the Buffalo River has announced a news conference next week after a Pollution Control and Ecology Commission meeting. The Buffalo River Coalition is going to respond to whatever a team of scientists has been studying the effects of dumping of hog waste at a farm near a tributary of the Buffalo. And I think they expect to find that the research is going to be called to an end without the drilling that's needed to support findings that so far indicate some of that waste may be finding its way into the water table and maybe leaching into waterways in the area. Bad news for the Buffalo River. It's true. There's a great deal of pressure from the Agriculture community not to find out for sure whether this hog waste is getting into the waterways. The farmers think they should be able to be farmers, and well, they'll do the best they can to keep the hog crap out of the water. Yesterday, after a 3-day search, teams from the Arkansas Department of Correction found an escaped killer who'd walked away from a work detail at the East Arkansas Regional Correction Facility in Lee County in the little town of Bricky's. He was bug bitten and none too well for the wear after surviving out in cornfields for several days. There's some questions that need to be answered by the department about work details. There was apparently only one guard on duty watching a work crew when he walked off. And finally, here's something you can do tonight at 8 o'clock tonight at Club Sway downtown. It's a gay club. They're going to raise money to help the victims in the Orlando shooting. City Director Kathy Webb is going to speak. She's one politician who's willing to lend her name to this good cause. I've suggested that some politicians in Arkansas say the governor drop by and drop a $5 bill in the can. It'd help a good cause and also show some solidarity for people here who naturally feel a little bit threatened by what's happened in the last week or so. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back next week.